What is up, everybody? So today we'll be reacting to a video stating that Xbox is destroying games. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a fun one, isn't it? Oh yeah, because Xbox is the only one destroying games, right? For sure, absolutely.
3 in gaming today. Back in the Xbox 360 era, they were on the top of the hardcore console world for a while, but they never hit that same peak again. The Xbox One was a flop, which forced Microsoft to pivot into a new business model.
And they had to do that because the Xbox One was a failure. Why was it a failure? Because it didn't provide any, whatchamacallit, any exclusives. But, this is probably going to be the same dude later in the video that's going to be like, well, I'm just making a prediction right now. I bet he's going to say that Microsoft doesn't have any exclusives for the Series X or whatever, right? And it's like, watch, he's going to say that shit. But, he's also not going to acknowledge why the Xbox One was a failure. And it was because of their lack of, their lack of, the hell is that word again? Value that they gave with the Xbox One. Even though it had more exclusives than any other console, so.
Xbox Game Pass. Basically, they mixed Netflix subscription boom with EA Access, and out came a service where, just for a few bucks a month, you could play full AAA games whenever you wanted. Halo, Gears of War, Sea of Thieves, even they won first-party releases.
Okay, yeah, but who cares? Why is that considered like, oh, this is the downfall of like gaming as a whole? No, not at all. You could argue that it's the downfall of Xbox, quote unquote, which I don't even believe. It's actually their horrible, like their business culture, really. That is what screwed over everybody, not just Microsoft. Everybody. The whole stupid woke culture, the DEI shit, like, oh, let's have like fucking all of a sudden female black leads in our advertising, in our video games, like, even though that's not who it appeals to for the most part. I'm sure there are exceptions, but no, most black women don't really care about games as much as white dudes or dudes in general, really. I don't know, just stupid. But yeah, that's what's really ruining gaming, not Game Pass. What?
Honestly, it worked. For a while, Game Pass saved Xbox brands. Millions joined the ecosystem. And when Game Pass Ultimate launched on PC, even more people jumped in. Then Xbox went on a buying spree, grabbing studios left and right for billions of dollars. The first big acquisition was ZeniMax, the parent company of Bethesda. Then the massive
and the fact that they have done nothing with that. I thought, like, at first, when Microsoft, like, got, like, Bethesda in their studios or whatever, I really thought, I'm not gonna lie, I really, really, really thought that they were gonna polish the games a little bit more because they had that Microsoft money, bro. You guys know what I'm talking about. Because they had that Microsoft money, I really thought that they were gonna be a lot more polished. No. They're worse than they ever have been before. It's like, holy shit, dude. Like Starfield, really. And then the only thing that people are looking that succeeded recently was what, a shitty remaster of like Obsidian, like really, or sorry, Oblivion, not Obsidian, like really, a glorified remaster of a game that's like what, 20 years old at this point. Wow, amazing.
Activision Blizzard deal. On paper, Xbox have never looked stronger. The potential lineup of exclusives was insane. The problem is, they didn't deliver. For years, we barely heard from these studios. When news did come out,
so he did acknowledge that they did have exclusives. Okay, hold on.
A handful of games with release dates so far in the future it was hard to care, and slowly the narrative around subscriptions started to shift. What once looked like the future of affordable gaming began to raise red flags. People started asking if the model was even sustainable long term. Now here we are in 2025.
Now, here's the thing though, like Game Pass would have been like more sustainable long term if they just conditioned their fans correctly. Like, yeah, now Microsoft can't really like do this thing where even if they raise prices, they're going to have less people. But if they don't raise prices, they're going to make less money on Game Pass, so it's kind of a catch-22, really. And like, really, though, like, even when they had it for, like, what, like $10 a month, not really as many people as they wanted joined the service. You know what I mean? So obviously their instinct is to like what how do you say, like, is to raise the price because there's less people. There's less people like on Game Pass. You know? So I don't know, man. I just don't know. It's crazy. But it's like, yeah, I mean, whatever can we do?
Looks like it's moving towards being more of a software company than a console company. Their games are coming to PC, Nintendo, even PlayStation, just like Microsoft itself does with Office and
To be
Windows.
honest, it's barely coming to PlayStation and Nintendo, especially Nintendo. Like, they haven't really scratched the surface on the games that are coming to PlayStation and Nintendo yet. They really haven't. Like, damn, bro. Until I see a Banjo-Kazooie game, bro, that's coming out on a fucking PS5, Series X, PC, Switch 2, whatever, all in day one, maybe I'll believe that that Sony and Nintendo has the same stature as Microsoft when it comes to their own games. But even then, it's like they're still missing the Halo collection, which has been on Xbox for a long time. Which, PlayStation fanboys want to argue how, oh, well, we had it longer than the PC version when it comes to Spider-Man and all those other games. It's like, yeah, cool. But you're not going to have to keep that same energy with, Xbox games. But yeah, whatever. Like, what I'm saying is that, trust me when I say, I hope Microsoft goes full with this, with this multi-platform approach. I do. Why not? Their games already suck for the most part. Porting their older, better games to newer platforms, oy vey. I would love that. I would love the shit out of a Sunset Overdrive, or I would love to see Sunset Overdrive on the Switch 2 and PS5. You guys have no idea how much I'd love to see that. I would love to see that shit. Underrated game, really. So with that being said, what's another game that I would love? The fucking rare, the rare replay collection that would also be good on the Switch 2 and PS5. Just saying. Let's see. Halo 5, that's another game that I would love on multiple platforms. Seriously, why is that not even on PC? Yes, it's only on Xbox One, for the love of God. Like, why? So yeah, like, I have some games that I would love Microsoft to put on multiple platforms. Trust me. Trust me, I would love that. But, I don't really see them with their woke asses anymore. I don't really see them releasing a lot of these games. I'm not gonna lie. Alright.
As the core issue, Microsoft is a ruthless corporation. You don't stay that big for that long without making cold, calculated business moves. But when you apply that same mindset to the creative world of gaming, it creates huge problems. Video games are art. Sure, there's coding and technical work, but at their heart, games live or die on creativity. Storytelling, designs, new mechanics, emotional connections, all of that comes from giving creative people freedom. The Microsoft way is the opposite. It's about cutting costs, maximizing efficiency.
That's every company nowadays, though. Like, I'm not excusing it at all. I agree. Like, that companies are treating video games like it's some fucking, it's only a way to make money. Nah, bitch, you need creativity to make money in the gaming industry. Sort of. Like, no, you need a lot more than that to just make a killing off gaming. Right? And like, their lame ass subscription, bro, as soon as like Steam and PC becomes the only option, I really feel like Game Pass will shut down even more. You know what I mean? I do. Or that subscription, that dumbass subscription thing. I feel like less and less people will see the value in that. Legit. I do. And I hope so, because I do not want a fucking future where gaming is just a subscription. Like, that is so unsustainable. It really is. Oh my God. I don't even want it as an option anymore. No. I don't want it as an option anymore. Because anything that's an option forces its way to people who just want to leave it alone. Always. So, yeah, I hope not.
squeezing as much money as possible, which makes sense in business. But in gaming, it strangles creativity. It creates a dysfunctional cycle where devs feel trapped in a system that doesn't value ideas, just
fuck
profit.
the devs. The devs were the reason why, are the reason why these games are mostly shit. Okay, yeah, the companies are telling them to make like games as a service slop and all that other shit. Yeah, but video game devs are the ones that make them poorly. They're the ones who poorly optimize them. You know, like they're the ones who are causing most of the issues with video games. Fuck the devs. I hope their jobs get replaced with AI so we can actually finally get some decent fucking games. Hell, maybe, you know, if AI cuts the cost of fucking video games, you might actually see more risks. Who knows? Who knows?
The best example of this problem shows up in Double Fine Psycho Odyssey, episode 27. In it, Matt Booty, head of Xbox Game Studios, meets with the Psychonauts Tube team, and a concern comes up that's honestly kind of terrifying. Under Microsoft's rules, any idea that a developer mentions while employees at the company automatically becomes Microsoft's property.
The reality is that once something is kind of in these walls, Double Fine owns it.
It doesn't matter if it's an official pitch written down in a doc or just casually mentioned during lunch. If you're on the payroll and you come up with it, legally, Microsoft owns it. Think about how stifling that is.
Let me out! Let me out! This is not a dance!
Game development thrives on open creativity. Developers bounce ideas off each other all the time, even if most of them never make into a game.
Yeah, and like, look, this is why you don't really give them your top ideas until you're able to make your own company or something like that. That's what I would do personally. If I was in a video game company, I would just like kind of give them my slop ideas, you know? Like, oh, here's this guy, he has a gun, and he shoots people. Wow. Give him a... Wait, hold on. Can you turn that into a black woman instead? Why? That literally doesn't... sure, whatever. Whatever gets me paid. I don't care. You know, that's what I would do in a company, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't give a shit. I really wouldn't care. And then keep my actual amazing ideas to myself until I'm able to make my own video game company. You know?
Brainstorms are where some of the most legendary mechanics in game history come from. A perfect example is game jams. For anyone unfamiliar, game jams are short, intense events where devs come together, usually for just a few days, and build experimental prototypes with zero pressure of turning them into full games.
This is all experiments that we did in a week. How much of this stuff sees the light of day to be determined?
It's a safe space to be weird, to fail, to chase wild ideas. Bethesda used to run internal game jams, and that's how we got features like the house building mechanic that appeared in Skyrim's DLC and later became a huge part of Fallout 4 and Starfield. These were never part of the original big plan for the game. They came from devs experimenting.
I mean, the games are still mid as fuck, especially Skyrim without mods, but, you know, I guess they're made a little bit better. Cool.
Now imagine being a smaller studio trying to do that under Microsoft's policy. You make a silly prototype or toss out a wild idea during a jam, and suddenly it doesn't belong to you or even your team.
It's gone. It's all gone.
It belongs to the corporation. It kills the spirit of those sessions because devs know they're risking giving away their best ideas for nothing. Of course, Xbox has to protect their creative potential,
Yep,
but forcing this...
That's true. Which is like, look, to a certain degree, it's like, okay, look. You putting a idea where, you know, Skyrim or whatever, the game has a house building mechanic, that's not exactly your idea, you know? So this is like kind of tricky where you're like, look, we can't really give the employee who came up with that too much. Like, you know what, we can't, like, look, I wouldn't give an employee too much of a bonus just because he made up an idea like that. That idea could have been fucking made up by anybody, bro. That's the thing. It's like, it's not exactly like a outlandish idea. What if we're able to build houses in Skyrim? Yeah, that's not outlandish. Makes, like, yeah, whatever. Like, there's another game that did that. You're just combining another idea of another game. So you know, like, I just want to say that, you know, let's not completely be like, oh my god, how can they be monsters and do that? Because it makes sense to a certain degree, right? It does. Although, should they get rewarded for, like, coming up with the idea and executing it at the end of the day? Yes, absolutely. But should they get, like, a huge bonus out of it? Like, no, they should not.
It this way makes people scared of losing their ideas, that even if the studio doesn't pursue it, they cannot make it themselves elsewhere or in a smaller scope. Like, for instance, Expedition 33. The idea came when the creators were still working at Ubisoft and then left to form their own studios and get that amazing game. That creates a culture of silence. Instead of throwing out fun or crazy suggestions, people hold back because if they're not 100% sure they want to give it away,
yeah, exactly. See, so they did it right. Those like Expedition 33 devs or whatever, they did it correctly. The team. You know, they like whatever was working on the fucking Assassin's Creed slop or some open world slop game at Ubisoft until they built their own money. They like accumulated their own money, I mean, and then built their own company, and then they fucking like released a game that was a hit. You know, because they're like, why the fuck should I make a hit at this shitty company that I'm working at right now? Why should I do that? Why should I do that? You know? Why on earth should I do that when I'm not going to get any like rewards for it? I bet the team got a lot more of a reward for it. I mean, hell, like the fact that it got made really was more of a reward, really, because Ubisoft doesn't really seem like they want any original ideas anymore. But also, like, even if Ubisoft said yes, they would have a better time releasing it on their own anyways because they got more money off of it. Ubisoft would have gotten the money for something like that. Well, not they didn't with Expedition 33. You know, because the team behind that, they weren't working at Ubisoft anymore. Really. So, yeah, see, they did it right. You know.
Won't say it. And when you lose that safe creative space, you lose the spark that makes games magical. And you can see the results already. Xbox has pushed out games that feel empty and soulless, like Redfall, for instance, or one stuck in outdated design thinking. Meanwhile, they've shut down studios like Tango Gameworks, which had just delivered Hi-Fi
Yep,
Rush
even though it's their fault that the game failed. I mean, look, the game isn't anything special. Can we just admit that? It really isn't. Like, it's not. Oh, it's a rhythm action game. Ooh, that looks literally like a fucking PS2 game. Legit, I'm not even lying, bro. That shit looks like a fucking PS2 game, and that's not a game that you want to have on your home console. Really. Shit. I mean, sorry to tell them, but, like, yeah, the game isn't anything that special, if I'm being honest. But also, Microsoft didn't help with its, like, the success of the game. I mean, let's just be honest. It launching on Game Pass as well as in the Xbox store or whatever is like, that was already a like nail in the coffin for a game like that, right? You know? But then you're also factoring in the fact, like, they didn't even advertise it or anything as well. They silently dropped it. They shadow dropped it on Game Pass and the store. Like, this is crazy, man.
The year contender, they killed Toys for Bob even after Crash 4 sold millions and pushed the franchise forward. Instead of nurturing creativity, they're doubling down on safe.
Well, Crash 4 was honestly a kind of a shitty money grab, if I'm being honest. Like, I know that Crash fans did like it, of course, because like fan bases will like anything as long as it has a name attached to it. Let's just be honest, bro. Almost anything at this point. Like, fans are more like consumers, bro. Like, they'll just take anything with the name Crash on it, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm sorry. So, it's like, their word almost doesn't mean anything at this point. Like, I don't know how the fuck can anyone like Crash 4? I'm not saying it's a horrible game, it's a bad game, but it has dated shit in it still. Like, it was just a shitty cash grab, really. Seriously, how the fuck can you still not go back to levels? Like, that's the problem I had, is that you couldn't go back to levels. You can't explore the levels to get the 100% on your first try. Because that's what I want to do. I don't want to go back to the fucking level and look for the, 100%. So to be fair, Crash 4 was a shit. It was. It was bad. Like, or not bad, it was dated. It was a dated fucking game with a brand new coat of paint. That's it. You know? Boring. Because here's the funny thing, though. They already did that with the remasters. So it's like, what the fuck was the point of buying the fourth one? So yeah, that's, to be fair... Yeah, that's why Crash 4 failed, and that's why Microsoft was like, yeah, I don't know about you guys, man. I don't know about you guys, Toys for Bob. So yeah.
It's self-destructive, and it's pushing Xbox into a cold corporate future where originality gets buried under spreadsheets. And what blows my mind is seeing people defending it, saying things like it's just the difference between being artsy and making money. But the irony is, without creativity, there's no money to be made in games. Games are supposed to make us feel something: comfort, excitement, fear, joy, and you can't spreadsheet your way into it.
I mean,
right?
Here's a funny part too. It's like, even the devs are not really that creative, at least with these big companies, or most devs are shit right now anyways. But the thing is that, like, okay, here's the funny part, all right? People really like to chase trends without looking at what made them popular, right? Like, look at Fortnite, for example. Whether you like to admit it or not, whether you like Fortnite or not, I don't even like Fortnite, really. Like, I don't like playing it. I don't play it that much. But you know what? I admire the game because it is innovative. And even if it's not innovative, or at the time it was innovative, even if it's not innovative anymore, it is expanding on what people loved about it. Now you can make your own fucking levels and make your own games out of that. Like, it's basically Roblox now. In a good way, is what I'm trying to say. It's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, Fortnite is offering a lot. There's cross-progression, cross-play, whatever. Like, it's such a good value for it being a free game. You know? And it's like most fucking games that you pay for don't even offer as much value as Fortnite. Why the fuck would any kid or anyone really who likes Fortnite get away from it? Why would they? Why would they? So yeah, like, I mean, instead of trying to just be a shitty, like, or like adopt the same a model as Fortnite, how about you actually try to be as innovative and successful as Fortnite in your own terms? That's how you do it.
Now Xbox feels lost. They're chasing numbers while firing thousands of devs, closing beloved studios, and creating an environment where people are too scared to pitch the next great idea. I'm not usually a pessimistic person, but I really believe we're at a crossroads. On one side, you have massive corporations squeezing every dollar out of fans and devs. On the other side, you got a bit
and they're not even giving you any value in return. They're really not.
for rise in AA and indie games full of passion and love for the medium. Look at Baldur's Gate 3, Expedition 33, Balatro, Blueprint, Sifu, A Plague Tale, and many others. These games prove creativity is alive and thriving outside of the corporate machine. So
first off, kiss my ass with that Plague Tale shit. That shit's a walking simulator. Shut the fuck up. Plague Tale is garbage. Shut up. Fucking movie game, like, enjoyer. Ew. Look, man, I'm sorry to tell you, you are not smart, and you are not, like, like, articulate, just because you like a shitty game where you don't play it much, and it has a story that's fucking generic as shit, but has some sort of moments in it that make it feel like, it's more than what it is. Okay? Alright. Telltale games were always shit as well, So stop with these fucking story games. They're not that good. They never were that good. So, yeah, no. That shit's garbage. Kiss my ass.
Look like in the next 5 years? Honestly, I don't know. I'm worried for the AAA space, but excited for the future of smaller projects that still dare to take risks and makes us feel something real.
Alright, well, that's the end of the video. Wow. So, yeah, there you go. So some of the stuff I agree with. I'm actually surprised he didn't bring up, Xbox exclusives, they don't have any more of them, so that's why it's failing. But then, how the fuck is this an Xbox? Xbox is destroying games. How the hell is that Xbox exactly? Because they bought studios and they did badly with them? No. Here's what happened. The fucking devs nowadays are bad too. It's not just Microsoft, like, if I'm being honest. Or the big companies, sorry. It's not just them. Devs are fucking horrible nowadays. They're getting paid more than ever. They have more opportunities to make games more than ever. They have easier tools and more mainstream access to make games more than ever. But you know what? Fuck you guys. We're gonna make shitty, like, unoptimized games with our garbage fucking, what is it? With our stupid garbage mindset put into it. Which is like, here's a trans character, here's a black woman character, stupid shit like that. So, yeah, no. Honestly, devs are the issue too. They're actually more of the issue, if I'm being honest. Truly. But yeah, anyways, I think that ends it now. That ends my reaction to this video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Do all the good stuff. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.